Alright, let's look at the homework 2.5, problem number 10. Right, so the equation of motion of a particle is given by S equals A cosine of omega t plus delta. Right, the particle is said to undergo a simple harmonic motion. Right, then part A, find the velocity. So velocity is just another word for derivative. So let's try to do that. Alright, so we just have to find the derivative. So S prime of t is equal to, right, A is just a constant. Right, so then derivative cosine would be sine with a negative sign. So I'll put the negative sign here. Right, so that's a negative sign. Right, then leave the inside function as it is. So omega t plus delta. Then multiply by derivative of the inside. So derivative of omega t would be omega. Derivative of delta is 0. Right? So if you clean it up, it's going to be negative omega a sine of omega t plus delta. Right? So that is the velocity function, right? Then for part B, then the when is velocity 0? So we just have to set that guy equal to 0. So S prime of t, let's see, S prime of t is equal to negative omega a sine of omega t plus delta. Right, so we want this guy to be 0, right? Then first thing is that we can, just divide through by negative omega a, because that's just a constant. So you will get the sine of omega t plus delta is equal to 0, right? Then you have to think about the, what angle makes sine 0, right? So it's either 0 or pi or any multiple of pi. So we know that when omega t plus delta is equal to any multiple of pi. So any just any integer, and sine would become 0. Right? So we just have to solve for t. Right? So first, subtract the delta. So omega t is equal to n pi minus delta, right? Then we can just divide through by omega. So t is going to be equal to n pi minus delta over omega. All right. So let's type it in. All right. So the velocity we found was negative and omega, so it's going to be, let's see, we have that somewhere here, omega, and t, so a, and then you have a sine of, and omega, t, plus delta, so delta, right, so that's that. And for t, it was fraction. So put fraction. N pi, so we're going to find pi, n pi minus delta over, over omega. Right? So let's submit for testing. All right, it came back and looks like we got both of these guys correctly. All right, that's it. I hope that this was clear.